Hi everyone and welcome to today's video on the subject of air law, where we will go through the latest questions regarding the aerodrome markings, and all the questions have been seen across all the EASA authorities in the recent months across in the real exams. So let's jump into question number 1 without any further ado. So the attached sign is A. So this is actually a quite tricky question because, as you can see, usually this should be just a standard information sign for your aerodrome. We have a yellow background with black letters or numbers. However, at the bottom you can see there are coordinates, and these coordinates are there for a very specific reason, and we use them, or more so in the past or for some older aircraft, to align our IRS system when we are at the stand. So this will be a stand identification sign with the coordinates at the bottom used solely and specifically to align our IRS, and this is why they are there. So this is the reason and the way of identifying whether this is just a normal designator sign or information sign or a stand identification sign, because the stand identification signs will always have coordinates attached in order for us to properly align our IRS, which requires to input the coordinates. The newer aircraft just take the GPS information, and based on that we update the coordinates and the IRS. However, in the older aircraft we need to do it manually using these exact numbers. Now going into question number 2. So in accordance with ICAO Annex 14, for safety reasons, elevated runways, stopway, and taxiway lights shall be. And of course, the right answer here will be frangible. So frangible will be the word that you will hear many times when it comes to the aerodrome design and how the aerodromes are built. All of the location signs, lights, and also everything past the aerodrome in the extended center line and clearway needs to be frangible. I'm sure you've heard of the Jeju accident where the aircraft has hit a concrete wall, and this is the exact reason why all the signs and all the buildings around the airport need to be frangible and properly marked. Frangible means that they break easily, so in case that you hit it, nothing really happens. The sign breaks first rather than the aircraft. So this is really important. Quite an easy question, an easy point. However, remember the reasoning behind this. And of course, if you see the word for the exam's sake, in most cases, it will be correct. And now going into question number 3. So one of the purposes of the runway strip is to. So a runway strip is an area that extends longitudinally and laterally from the runway. Depends on the runway type, so there's no straight number. It will be anywhere from 30 meters as a minimum of the center line laterally to 150 meters or sometimes even more. The main idea of the clearway is for the aircraft to have safe margins in case of a runway excursion, and also during the initial climb of the takeoff, and also, if you think about it, for the landing's sake in some cases. However, the runway strip is there on the sides in order to ensure that in case the aircraft goes off the runway, there is a safe area that is obstacle free and is flat and is safe to go out. Now for question number 4, what is the type of the sign given here? So of course, remember that yellow on black where I'm at, meaning these signs with black background and yellow numbers, these are location sign where I'm at. And then also we have a runway designation sign. So in this case, we are approaching the holding point for runway 31 right. So of course, this will be a location sign and a runway holding position sign. Now the question is whether it's precision or non-precision. However, this is quite simple. This will be a non-precision runway holding sign. The precision runway holding signs will always have a designator of the category of the landing that is available there. So for example, if it was precision, we would see 31 right, cut 1, or 31 right, cut 2/3. And of course, the precision runway holding signs and holding positions will be much further away from the runway than the non-precision is to keep the aircraft clear of the sensitive areas of the ILS in order for the signal to be as accurate and strong as possible. And now going to last question about the runway declared distances for today's video. So the 4 declared distances specified for a runway direction, we have TORA, TODA, ASDA, and the landing distance available. They would be all equal, meaning balanced, if the runway is what? So of course, the correct answer here is if it has, of course, no stopway, no clearway, and no displaced threshold. The reason for this is that we use this usually for calculations to make it very simple. Of course, here, remember, actually clearway also needs to be not taken into account, because clearway is used to calculate takeoff distance available, and of course displaced threshold will increase takeoff run available as well, and absolutely stopway increases our landing distance available. So if all of these are missing, then of course TORA, TODA, and ASDA, stopway for ASDA, all of these will be simply the same, which is a balanced runway, the easiest one to calculate all the distances and factorized performance calculations. And this will be everything for this shorter video from the topic of air law, especially the aerodromes. Wish you all the best as always, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye, and have a fantastic day.